Amazed and cautious, he witnesses the swirling energy and wonders aloud about its power. Menacing flying creatures swarm over the city beneath a blood-red sky. A giant monster towers over Sheng, who stands fearlessly beneath it as the city crumbles around them. He charges forward with fierce determination, his eyes glowing with intense energy. He unleashes a powerful energy burst, radiating intense energy into the surroundings. He channels energy with his arm raised against the fiery, destroyed cityscape. The series title Level Up in the Future emerges against a dark backdrop, hinting at the journey ahead. The page shifts to a neutral mood, displaying static credits for the creators and contributors. An unseen figure calls out to Sheng against the dark backdrop. Unknown voices echoed, calling out to Sheng. A tired and distracted Sheng looked up from his desk as an unknown person called out to him. The teacher scolded Sheng for dozing off all day, drawing laughter from the amused students. The teacher, frustrated and authoritative, scolded the class about their lack of effort with only 200 days left until the final exam. The man criticized Sheng, warning him that his behavior would prevent him from being hired, even in construction. He listened intently as he was questioned about meeting the minimum health standard for construction workers. The supportive classmates urged the teacher to let Sheng rest, citing his health status and need for sleep. The reflective and concerned Sheng sighed, expressing disappointment about someone's lack of effort in front of a chalkboard. The teacher announced the end of the lesson, dismissing the class. Students eagerly left the classroom, relieved that the brutal exams were finally over. Thoughtful and reflective, he closed his eyes and nodded slightly, expressing a sense of resignation. Standing in a desolate field of monstrous bones, he lamented the nightmare's toll on his health and the effort needed to recover. The optimistic classmate advised Sheng to leave heroics to the geniuses, acknowledging their ordinary status and contrasting health levels. The energetic student suggested playing games, but Sheng declined, saying he'd rather go home. The friendly and persuasive classmate offered to cover drinks and PC time, but Sheng shook his head, insisting he needed sleep. A student called out to Qi Ming about gaming plans, and he quickly promised to join them shortly. Observant and cautious, he entered the dimly lit classroom with a female student following closely behind. Calm and friendly, he bid farewell to his friend, suggesting they play together another time. Determined and urgent, he confronted an unknown figure who questioned if it was the right time to act. The thoughtful and introspective Sheng pondered math challenges, deciding instead to check the latest news updates. Standing on a paved surface, he reflected thoughtfully on how this world wasn't much different from the last. A speech bubble floated alone, conveying hesitation with a single word. He stood focused, observing the news of the military's success against the monster wave on the large electronic billboard. Confident and assertive, he ordered someone to move aside. A muscular woman carrying heavy boxes warned Sheng not to zone out in the middle of the road. He looked up in disbelief, amazed by the immense strength he witnessed. He gazed at the sky, pondering when he could reach such strength. The sunset casts a warm glow over an old apartment building, its windows gently illuminated. He clutches his wound, crying out in pain as he removes the bloodstained bandage. He grimaced as the woman applied patches to his back, pleading for her to be gentler. He announced his return, and the woman delightedly welcomed him back home. The caring and attentive Sheng asked the injured character if he wanted an apple to ease his hunger. The worried Sheng informed his father he would start dinner while waiting for his little sister to get home. The inquisitive Sheng suggested to his dad that they buy a blood-circulating apparatus instead. He informed the seated man that his classmate praised a device for its energy, circulation, and healing benefits. Poised and focused, he advised himself to take a deep breath and remain calm. He flexed his arm confidently, insisting that a minor issue due to age couldn't affect his steel-like strength. He mentioned thoughtfully that he had brought a present for the seated man. An unknown voice excitedly announced the debut of the benevolent clinic's newest health recovery powder. Deliberate and contemplative, he reaches for two bottles placed on the table. He focused intensely, wondering if the $20,000 recovery powder was the one he saw advertised. The man in the white shirt humorously feigned pain after Sheng playfully praised and slapped him. The supportive woman joyfully patted Sheng on the shoulder, suggesting they celebrate his efforts with leftover pork head meat. He laughed joyfully, feeling it was an exceptionally lucky day where fortune seemed to arrive in pairs. A caring woman gently questioned Sheng about his health status, asking if he had managed to break through to 0.85 yet. He listened anxiously as he heard about his sister's health and the new exam challenges. He grinned confidently, acknowledging that he already knew the truths. He held a glowing pearl aloft, confident that its cultivation would greatly enhance his strength. Relaxed and preparing, he approached the weightlifting area while taking off his jacket. He struck the ground, emitting a curious light as he wondered about the martial art involved. He exhales deeply, channeling energy into his hands with intense focus. Focused and determined, he began his gymnastics routine as the instruction to start the 14th set echoed through the room. A pale, ghostly figure marveled at the treasure hoard, wondering aloud if it was really all theirs. Bats swarmed the sky, creating an unsettling atmosphere under the darkened expanse. In the enveloping darkness, Sheng resolutely closed his eyes, knowing this wasn't the end. Inside his room, Sheng panted heavily, expressing his frustration about his stagnant health status despite rigorous training. A shadowy figure pondered the meaning of life, questioning the essence of it all. Determined and sweating, he declared his dedication to practicing until he improved. Determined and focused, he gazed at the training equipment, vowing to push himself further. In the darkness, Sheng resolved to act with unwavering determination. He extended his hand forward, promising not to let anyone down. His eyes widened in terror as he shouted in intense fear. Haunted by recurring nightmares, he anxiously realized the desolate field under the dark, stormy sky matched his dreams. Bewildered, he examined the large skull in the desolate landscape, wondering about the strange place surrounding him. Trying to wake from a nightmare, he felt panic as the monstrous creature lunged toward him. Struggling but determined, he lifted the ferocious masked creature into the air with a powerful throw. A determined hero, he observed the shadow creature emerging menacingly from the darkness, remembering that he thought he had already defeated them all. A monstrous creature opened its massive mouth wide as Sheng lamented his capture despite previous escapes. He was thrown backward by a powerful force, struggling to regain his balance. Fierce and resolute, he challenged his unseen opponent with defiant determination. Despite doubting his combat skills, Sheng defiantly kicked the door, determined to prove himself. Contemplative and serious, he stands alone under a dark sky, ready to face the truth. He punches aggressively forward, his determination resonating with each powerful blow. The scene fades to a blank white, signifying a pause in Sheng's relentless journey. The debris crashes to the ground with an intense impact. He smashes the rock with fierce determination, the sound echoing powerfully around him. A powerful impact struck the ground, sending debris flying in every direction. Rain pours heavily from the gloomy, overcast sky. He stood triumphantly over the decapitated zombie, relieved to have finally discovered its weakness. He screams in agony as dark energy swirls around him. Determined and resolute, he prepared to fight and declared it was time to finish the confrontation. Sitting confidently, he listened as his friend expressed concern about the Defense Corps' dangerous training. He stood surrounded by a mysterious blue aura, examining his glowing hands and questioning the situation. He launched a powerful energy attack against the monstrous shadowy figure, his focus unyielding. Figures emerged from the swirling mist, creating an air of mystery and intrigue. He charged with fierce determination, declaring the confrontation would end now as he advanced towards the monstrous figure. Visibly shocked, he stared wide-eyed at the unexpected news. Energy flows into Sheng, and he is amazed by this surge of power. He stood intrigued, pondering if defeating the zombie had granted him its memories and strength. An advertisement for a webtoon site briefly appeared on the screen. He channels a powerful burst of energy, his determination evident. He observed as the shadowy figure began to dissolve, leaving him both surprised and cautious. A sudden memory pierced Sheng, leaving him momentarily stunned and curious. Symbols emerged from the darkness, their glow casting an ominous and foreboding atmosphere. Determined to uncover the truth, he resolved to find base 1359 and end his haunting dreams. A mysterious and desperate figure reached out, pleading for assistance. He absorbed the zombie memories, realizing they were less unpleasant this time and pondering the strength he could gain from combat-type zombies. He collapsed to the floor, questioning if he had just woken up. A desperate voice called out for Sheng with urgency. An unseen voice demanded Sheng come out for dinner immediately, questioning his prolonged stay in his room. Exhausted and sweaty, he opened the door and addressed his sister. Amazed and anticipatory, he acknowledged that he couldn't believe the incredible event had finally arrived. Playfully accused Sheng of pretending to work out while actually sleeping. He encouraged the smiling girl to hurry and not keep their parents waiting. Startled and wary, he demanded to know the identity of the mysterious figure lurking in the shadows. The brown-haired girl observed Sheng thoughtfully, curious about when he had become so muscular and diligent in his workouts. Joyful and playful, he encouraged his friend to join him in the grassy field for a game. He watched the students, contemplating how his remarkable talents transformed her interactions and prospects at school. Holding a shirt thoughtfully, he reflected on being overshadowed by his sister's brilliance. Standing shirtless, he curiously examined his reflection in the mirror. Astonished by his sudden transformation, he observed his own muscles in disbelief. He felt unexpectedly energetic and determined as he clenched his fist, noting his lack of sluggishness after waking up. Determined and defiant, he insisted there would never be one of those. Gaining power and realization, he marveled at the surge of energy and wondered if he could use his dream-learned skills in reality. Curious and engaged, he marveled at the idea of growing stronger through dreams as he greeted the welcoming man inviting him to sit. He ravenously devoured the food, gulping it down with intense hunger. Enthusiastic and hungry, he eagerly lifted his empty bowl, expressing delight at how delicious his mom's improved cooking was. Surprised, he raised his empty bowl while his friends watched in amused confusion. The dark-haired boy nervously retracted his outstretched bowl, admitting he was suddenly too full. He snatched the bowl, surprised by his own appetite, as someone reassured him they wouldn't let him go hungry at home. The authoritative man asked Sheng to prepare more food, and he agreed cheerfully. The older man encouraged Sheng, saying puberty is an ideal time to improve health with tonics and nourishing ingredients. A curious woman eating her meal pondered how an 18-year-old's measurement could increase, noting it's not like weight that can be changed at will. The father sternly reminded Sheng and his sibling about the importance of specialized martial arts education. Confident and determined, he challenged the unseen opponent, warning them they'd regret underestimating him. He examined his hand thoughtfully, considering if his dream had truly improved his health, and resolved to verify it at the dojo. Stars twinkle above the building, casting a serene glow in the calm night. Purposeful, Sheng approaches the entrance of dojo with determination. Curious and reflective, he examined martial arts posters, pondering the skills of a top-ranked martial artist. To achieve rank 4 martial artist status, one must surpass a health threshold of 200 and reach a combat power of 100,000. A reflective and calculating figure assesses an impressive health status, expressing awe at its equivalence to 300. Determined and contemplative, he reflects on how martial artist rank dictates one's position in society. He stood in front of the posters, contemplating the high costs of martial arts education. He entered the room, pondering how his dream experiences made cram school unnecessary, as a girl with purple hair noticed him. A smiling woman warmly welcomed a visitor to the dojo, asking if they were interested in joining the martial arts class. An empty wooden desk sat quietly, a silent witness to the day's unfolding events. The dark-haired man confidently stated his visit was solely for assessing his health status and combat power. The receptionist indicated the way to room 8, and Sheng assured her that he understood the process and thanked her for the help. The clear sky suggested tranquility as the wind assault fist embodied a world of its own. Focused and determined, he faced the glowing machine to assess his health status. Energy surged from Sheng's hand, forming a brilliant orb in front of him. Empowered and confident, he declared it was time to reveal his true abilities as he raised a glowing sword. A digital display revealed the health status and martial artist rank information. He celebrated with excitement, realizing his cultivation progress had surged significantly in just an hour. He resolved to find his own path in martial arts. Curious about his abilities, he wondered aloud what his combat power would reveal. He strikes the mannequin labeled Test 4 with determined focus. Alert and cautious, he questioned the shadowy figure about its identity. He concentrated energy around his foot and slammed it into the ground with powerful determination. Powerful and determined, he unleashes a fierce energy punch at an unseen opponent. A shadowy figure quietly observes from a darkened window, adding to the growing sense of unease. Curious and intrigued, he examined the futuristic helmet, wondering aloud about the mysterious place. The blank panel lingered, offering a momentary pause in the unfolding tension. Astonished by the reading, he couldn't believe his combat power had reached 113. He marveled at his power boost, contemplating the potential growth with a good night's sleep. A resolute figure silhouetted, he vowed to transform himself through a night of intense dedication and self-reinvention. Alert and wide-eyed, he grips the sheet anxiously from his bed. Frustrated and restless, Sheng sat up in bed, wondering if he had slept too much during class. Restless and determined, Sheng decided to work out instead of sleeping. Determined to improve his health, he started his radio gymnastics routine with focus and precision. A mysterious swirling energy fills the scene as Sheng charges his energy, preparing for the first move. He kicked through a burst of energy, confused by his sudden mistake in a routine he'd known since childhood. Surprised and thoughtful, he remembered the body training technique the zombie learned when alive. Curious and cautious, Sheng watched a group of tactical men through the dim, shadowed veil. Startled but thoughtful, he recalled the body training technique the zombie had learned while it was still alive.